I was talking to my mom about my hair. I'm on a curly hair journey. I was talking to her about my afro. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have a bigger afro. So exciting. She said, well, if you lose weight, your hair is going to look bigger. I'm like, cool.
This video actually reminds me of an old job that used to exist, called a lector. Originating in Cuba around 1865, a lector was a live reader who would entertain workers in cigar manufacturing, because cigars used to be hand-rolled, which meant that there was no machinery, and so to break the boredom, workers would gather together, decide what they wanted to hear about, and then hire someone to read for them. Having people read for others was also a common practice in the day. You would have people, for instance, purchase a copy of a book by Charles Dickens, and then people would gather together as someone would read the book for people who couldn't read for themselves. But a lector could read anything. Factory workers could decide for a lector to read books, articles, newspapers, or to educate them on different types of government and civic subjects. Over time, this practice made its way from Cuba to the United States, where lectors were employed in cigar factories in New York and Florida, for instance. And even after the invention of the radio, people still preferred lectors because they found them to be more engaging. However, lectors became more controversial over time because they became known for educating workers, making them a focal point for labor organization. For instance, they would read socialist and communist literature, which would later lead to workplace organization with unionization and later labor strikes. And after a labor strike at a cigar factory in Florida in 1931, the practice of lectors would be banned in the United States and they would be replaced with radios. Today, lectors are largely non-existent in the United States. However, the practice still continues on in Cuba to this day, although in a much diminished capacity.